Everything going good? Lovely. I think everything's going well. Good morning, everybody. It is match day. It is Monday Night Football. Today, it's Newcastle United versus Manchester United. If you're excited for that, let me know how you're feeling for the game down below in the chat. And for those watching after the stream, not watching live, please leave your score predictions down in the comments below. I feel a bit disconnected from you guys sometimes. So to make up for that, the first 10 people who post and comment their score predictions for tonight's game, well, I'll shout you out in the next stream. But chat, let me know how we're feeling today. How are we feeling for the Newcastle United game? Let me know. We have so much to cover today. The Marcus Rashford transfer request, of the Jobe Bellingham pursuit, as well as so much more, including the breaking news that Antony might finally be out on his way of Manchester United Football Club. Chat, how are we doing today? Malmin was in here nice and early saying, is that true that Rashford has handed in a transfer request? Well, to me, it is good as a request as you can get. It's as good as a request as you can get. How are we doing today, chat? Give it another minute or so, and then we will start the stream properly. Give it another minute or so. Give it another minute or so. How are we doing, chat? How are we doing? How are we doing? I'm quite nervous for tonight, actually. I'm very, very nervous. I haven't felt this sure we're going to get battered in a while, unfortunately. I've been sort of doing some research on Newcastle over the last few days, and good lord, that midfield is going to run straight through us. I'm rather scared for this evening. Rather scared. How are we doing, chat? How are we doing? Let me know how we're doing today. Give it about 10 more seconds and we'll get kicked off into the stream properly. Let a few more people filter in. Okay, chat, shall we get going? Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the MPB Morning Show. I'm your host, Alex, at Alex Talks All, and in less than 48 hours' time, there could potentially be the end of an era at Manchester United Football Club. And to find out whether that's for the better or for the worse, make sure you get involved in the chat down below. Get involved in the discussion here on the MPB Morning Show. And if you're excited for the latest on United's Bellingham pursuit, links to Liam Delap, as well as so much more, make sure you hit the like button and smash the subscribe button as well. We recently hit 6,000 subs on the MPB YouTube channel. We'd love to be on the journey to 7,000 subs very, very soon. So let me know how we're feeling for today. Let me know how we're feeling, and we're going to get straight into the Marcus Rashford situation. As you can see from the title, Marcus Rashford hands in transfer request. What is my basis for that? Why do I believe that? Well, it's a report from Sam Wallace at The Telegraph, who reports that the mood at Manchester United is that the standoff between Marcus Rashford and Ruben Amorim is nothing like as toxic as the feud between Erik ten Hag and Jadon Sancho. Then, the terms offered an apology from the player were never going to be met, or at least not in public until eventually a truce was brokered at the end of the season. Amorim has asked Rashford to meet his standards. Rashford has asked to leave. Chat, if that last sentence doesn't sound like a transfer request, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. To me, it screams he just wants to move on. He wants to leave. And this is another report in a long line of reports insinuating the same thing. But chat, let me ask you a question. Is this all a big Ineos conspiracy? They've launched a slander campaign against Marcus Rashford to try and ruin his public image, or has Marcus Rashford simply lost his love for Manchester United? Chat, before we get deep diving into that and all the journalistic stuff that's been going on with that, let me know in the chat down below. Let me know. Anyone confident will win tonight, even score a goal? We'll grab a goal. If we set up how I would like us to set up, we can definitely grab a goal today. Definitely. Sean says if we could swap Rashford for Nuno Mendes, then Santa has reversed the slate and it is very generous. Well, I'm becoming more and more sceptical on Nuno Mendes the more reports we get out. But no, we'll talk about that later. What about Marcus Rashford, chat? What about Marcus Rashford? Is it an Ineos conspiracy, or is he simply fallen out of love with football and maybe Manchester United more specifically? Now, on Twitter, on X, on any social media platform, you will see Marcus Rashford fans, and I indeed am one of them, defending him to their last breath, devoiding him of sort of any responsibility. And I was sort of on their side. I sort of understood the idea that, look, it made sense for Ineos to want to move Rashford on. He is a huge wage bill for the club. he's not performing up to standards, by pushing him out like this, it makes sense to do so. To launch this sort of slander campaign, it makes a lot of sense. It makes sense until Andy Mitten went on TalkSport yesterday and he got involved. When Andy Mitten got involved, I sort of took a step back and went, okay, this is legitimate. I had the pleasure of running into Andy Mitten at the Bournemouth game. Just prior to the game, I said hello. We chatted for 2 minutes. What an absolutely lovely gentleman. But more importantly to me, he is a symbol of truth at United. He has such a good relationship with every single camp there is. Every manager who's been and gone, he's been there, he's talked to them. He has been sort of an advisor for them in many senses. Lots of players' camps, Andy Mitten talks to them. Marcus Rashford and his entourage is one of the few groups Andy Mitten does not speak to at Manchester United Football Club. And that to me is really rather important. That to me is really rather important, because that means Andy Mitten is very well connected and he has no reason to lie. He lies, he backs this club slander campaign without any basis in it. He loses any and all credibility amongst his peers essentially, and I think he would not want to lose that. He wouldn't want to lose that chat. Talking about the United game, I'll say a 2-1 win, as I never say we will lose. But the prediction is not based on anything other than hope and tribalism. Sean, I completely get that, mate. Sean, I really do get that. Josh C, MUFC, says it'd be massive for us to sell him. If we can manage to get £40 million for him, would be great for pure profit. Would probably be a loan with an obligation to buy. That last sentence is exactly right, Josh. I see that being the case. If we move him on in January, that'll be the case. 100%. 100%. But no, the Marcus Rashford situation, we have seen Andy Mitten, we have seen Ducker, we have seen Fab and Ornstein insinuate at it. Marcus Rashford has very simply fallen out of love with Manchester United Football Club. He just has. Chat, he just has, and haven't you at some point in your life? In anything, whether it be your job, whether it be a hobby, whether it be school or university, at some point you're going to be less interested in that sort of field than you were at the beginning. It's happened to me. It's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. It's completely human what Rashford is going through. That's why I don't want any slander on him. That's why I don't want this chat coming at him, calling for his head. That's why I don't want Twitter when he leaves, and he will leave. Marcus Rashford will be leaving this football club. I don't want anyone calling for his head. Let's look at the stats. Let's look at what Rashford has contributed to this football club. He has won us 5 trophies, 2 FA Cups, 2 Carabao Cups, and 1 Europa League. His best season was in 22-23. He scored 30 goals and 15 assists. 45 goals and assists across all competitions. 138 goals for Manchester United Football Club in all competitions at his time here. He's been here since he was 7 years old, man. He's been here since he was 7 years old. He is one of my favourite players ever. If you were here last stream, you'll see it again. One of my Christmas presents, this. Marcus Rashford 10. One of my favourite players of all time. Chat, let me know, where does he rank for you? Is he a modern day legend of this football club, or will he always to you be an underwhelming superstar, never having hit the heights he should have? To me, he is one of the best players in the last 10 years of this football club, an icon both on and off the pitch, a cultural embodiment of Manchester United Football Club. He should be going nowhere. Will he go in January? Anywhere would be lucky to have him. Anywhere. Any move will revitalise him, I'm certain of it. Any move like overseas, away from Manchester, away from England, from the press, I think he will thrive. Go to Real Madrid, he would thrive. Barcelona, he would thrive. AC Milan, he would thrive. Chat, let me know, what are your thoughts, feelings and opinions on Marcus Rashford? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Let me know, chat. Any last thoughts or feelings on Rashford? Oh, okay, no. I was sort of in a conversation recently where and this is sort of to defend the media a little bit here, respecting the journalists and just sort of fighting the idea that it's very simply what they're doing, this sort of hit pieces they're doing on Marcus Rashford. They're not hit pieces. I was part of a conversation recently where I heard other things about Rashford, simply enjoying himself. Being a human being, letting off steam, but not really in the eyes of what some people expect Marcus Rashford to be doing, a top player at Manchester United. And they are far worse than anything the media has put out. I don't know for certain, I'm not going to say. All they are rumblings and rumours. But the media are certainly not going after Marcus Rashford with a vendetta. They've not been given a task by Ineos to bring Marcus Rashford down. Because if they wanted to, they could certainly find a lot worse evidence. Let's see what you lot are saying. Far from a legend, not a great. To say he is one of the best players we've had during the last 10 years is not saying much. The bar isn't exactly high. He's inconsistent and isn't a team player. I disagree with that. He's not a team player. He's the one who's put the team on his back. The year we won the Carabao Cup for the first time, the first year of Erik ten Hag. Well, what does he do? That goal against Barcelona from an impossible angle, sneaking it past Marcus Sagan at the front post. Come on. That goal against Arsenal, the 3-2 game, where he genuinely walked the walk, talked the talk, and acted like the best player in world football. He is a phenomenal player when he's in the mood. And very simply, I just don't think he cares that much anymore. And that, to me, is a very human response to a long time at this football club and someone who very simply wants to move on. It's completely fair. Completely fair. I want him to leave, says Caleb. Premium says, if that was the case, every top team would do all they could to sign him. Reality is, Rashford has not been consistent enough. That I agree with, Premium. That I agree, he's not been consistent enough, and his lack of care can be seen as just simply disinterested. Falling out of love with football in general rather than falling out of love with Manchester United. He wants to play. He cried after the FA Cup final because that's when he thought it was the last game for the club. That was the natural conclusion to Rashford at Manchester United. That's when he should have gone. That's when he should have gone. His lack of work rate and consistency shows he's not a team player. Chat, we could go round in circles. The boy broke his back for United under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What do you mean he's not a team player? He pushed through pain barriers, playing on painkiller after painkiller, breaking his body down just to play for Manchester United Football Club to try and bring us back to the top. Did he succeed? No, but not for a lack of trying. Going back to WY's point, nobody can afford him. Chat, let me know. How much do you think is the Marcus Rashford's fair market value? Not what you think we could get for him 2 years ago. Right now, how much could it be? How much would a top side, how much would a Barcelona, an AC Milan, a Juventus, an Inter, a Bayern Munich pay for Marcus Rashford? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Good morning, Ahmed. How you doing, pal? Hope you're doing well, mate. I like Marcus, but it's time to move him on, and we can rebuild this team now and get pure profit, and the off-the-field stuff like Belfast is not a good look for him. That I'd agree with. It's not a good look, but it's human. Chat, there's 30 people in the stream right now, over 30 people. I want at least 10 or 15 responses telling me how much Marcus Rashford could be sold for this January, or indeed even the summer. Let me know. £40 million is Cubus, £25 million is WY. If we get 5 more responses, well, I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I think. 60 million, says Ahmed. The back injury comment is fair enough. Let's just say he's a great area. Sean will agree to disagree, my friend. Will agree to disagree. None of them probably want him, unfortunately. Paris Saint-Germain is the only club that have distanced themselves from signing Marcus Rashford this January and the summer. Nobody else has. Ronnie dodged £45 million. Chat, keep around for the stream today. We are talking about United's Bellingham pursuits coming right up next. We're also talking about Kolo Muani. He's going to be coming up next, as well as Liam Delap and Victor Osimhen. His name is in the news yet again. And stay around to the very end of the stream. Newcastle versus Manchester United. There's only one team you call United. It's Manchester United. We'll be talking about that game later on in the stream. A tactical debrief, talking about my lineup and any concerns we have going into the game. GG LOL says City won't buy this guy. This guy wants first team. Is that about Rashford, mate? Is that about Rashford? Let me know. He's on £300,000 a week, so I don't see us getting much. Well, Caleb says £40 million plus £25 million in add-ons. Chat, to end the Marcus Rashford point, I think we would do very well this January or this summer to get £30 million for him. And this is someone who I believe is one of the best players in the world on his day. £30 million is all I think we needed to get Marcus Rashford out of Manchester United Football Club. And talking about a former young superstar who's moved on, let's move on to another player, another young superstar whose older brother is currently, in my opinion, the best player in world football. Yes, I'm talking about Jobe Bellingham, younger brother of Jude Bellingham, the Real Madrid star. We have been linked to Sunderland players throughout the entirety of the last year. Chris Rigg being the main man, Jobe Bellingham has sort of muscled his way into conversations with his performances at Sunderland this year. They currently sit at 4th place, 44 points they're on, 7 points behind top spots, 5 points ahead on the team below them. Let's look at the report from United Districts. They report that Manchester United are interested in signing Jobe Bellingham from Sunderland in the next year after the teenager impressed the club's recruitment staff. Important words there. Even more importantly, there's a huge chance this could materialise. Chat, before we get into this in great depth, let me know, Jobe Bellingham or Chris Rigg? Which player would you rather have? Which player do you think is necessary to get at Manchester United Football Club? Both young players with huge upside potential. If you could only have one, let me know who you would be bringing in. Did Jobe and Ahmad play together? If so, that's interesting. No, they didn't. I don't even think Ahmad and Rigg played together. Rigg was at the club at the time, but I'm not too sure. He was in the youth setup. I don't think he was playing. I don't know. GGLOL says, I don't know why I don't like Jobe being hyped. Well, chat, let me talk to you about Jobe Bellingham for a second. The first thing I want to talk about him is his mental profile. Now, I actually hate talking about players like this because we don't know what's going on inside their head. We don't know really how they think or anything like that. But we know their environment. Jobe is the younger brother of Jude Bellingham, who is widely regarded as one of the most hard-working players in the sport. The Cristiano Ronaldo of our generation, if you will. An absolute workhorse, working on his game, his physique, his just general sort of well-being non-stop. That right there is the top mental profile. And Jobe Bellingham is his younger brother. He's been looking up to Jude his entire life. He will have taken on some of those traits and maybe even improved on them. The family setup is still there as well. We know how close, how tight-knit the Bellingham family unit is. Well, to me, the fact they're so tight-knit, it's rubbed off on Bellingham well, it rubbed off on Jobe as well. And I'm quite happy about that. The mental profile is really important. And before I get ahead of myself, let's talk about the source themselves. United Districts, the other side, the enemy. No, I'm kidding. We have a lot of respect for people over there. Fantastic organisation, fantastic account, fantastic people. And yet, no, they've been superb over the last few months. Nad, the main source on this, was one of the few people to call out Ruben Amram as one of the big targets for the manager search. He was one of the first to do that. That's really quite a good indicator. And he's also building on reports that Jobe Bellingham is a really big option. First one to really push it forward, to speak about it with any sort of authority, but he's been a name around United circles for a while now. I think we should take this not as gospel, but as a really, really good indicator of where we're going in the market. We lost one Bellingham, can't lose another. Ronnie Dodge, mate, I love Jude, I love Jobe, but let's not pretend they're the same player. Let's try not to say that. Is Jobe good? I think Jobe is a very good young talent. He's not going to be anywhere near his older brother, in my opinion. That could all change. When he was 15 years old, Jobe was often regarded as better than his brother at the same age. That's what Jobe was regarded as. And as someone who grew up around Birmingham, I grew up around that time. I was the same age. I'm older than Jobe. I'm the same year as Jude. You hear things, and you would hear that Jobe Bellingham is a better player than Jude Bellingham at that age. They're both hyped massively, and Jobe was always rated higher. But I would say Jobe has sort of grown into a bit more of a narrow position. Jude could play as a 10, as an 8, as a 6. Hell, you could play Jude up front, and you can get a lot out of him. Jobe Bellingham is a number 10. At Manchester United, he would be a perfect left 10 position. I mean, Caleb says we need experience, and that's why I'd say Jobe is not a player for right here, right now. He is a rotation piece. Amma says Unk. Yeah, mate, I'm the same age as Jude, which to me is mental. But yeah, no, I ain't Unk. Trust me. Jobe Bellingham, I can't lie, never watched either of them. Well, let me talk to you about Jobe. let me talk to you about Jobe. He is someone who loves the left half space. For those who don't know what that means, the left-hand side of the pitch, the sort of the middle zone between the wing and the centre spot. That's the left half space. Jobe loves it there. He loves being around the 18-yard box. He loves occupying the box, getting in almost Scott McTominay-esque, the way he attacks the box crashing. He's a great ball striker. He's scored some goals this season for Sunderland. The really big reasons why they're winning games. Jobe Bellingham's strikes from outside the box or even in around 10 yards away. Top corner every single time. Jobe has that in his locker. He's a great ball carrier. Really robust on the ball. Really difficult to knock off. That's why I really, really like Jobe Bellingham. He's got that dribbling capacity, which Amrim needs from his left tens and his right tens as well. They need their ability to be robust, run with the ball, knock a few players out of the way, and penetrate through the side. But more importantly, over anything else, his physical profile is immaculate, chat. Jobe Bellingham is taller than Jude. He's like 6'3". He's really quite agile, really quite mobile. Not as mobile as Jude. I would say he's quite biased in the angles he plays with. He loves receiving the ball in the left half space, but he doesn't really like to go down the left-hand side. He's not someone to run into the left channel and sort of spread the team out, provide that width. That's not his game. Whenever he receives the ball, he always turns his body up to the wide side of the pitch, playing those long balls, looking to that right wing back, looking to that right back, looking to drive into space, looking to move away from the left-hand side. That's Jobe Bellingham's game in a nutshell. And I think he'd be a really important thing for us. I think he'd be a really important player. He's great in the duels. He's great at pressing. I'm a fan of Jobe Bellingham. How much would you spend on him, chat? How much would you spend on him? What is he, 19? 19 years old, 18, 19 years old. Absolute superstar in the making. Big part of Sunderland. And we've seen how important the Championship can be in nurturing young players. Chat, let me know how much would you spend on Jobe Bellingham. After that, quite comprehensive, I think. Sort of an analysis on him. I prefer, I'm going to butcher that name, Mastantuono over these two. Cubis, I don't know who that is. I'll make a note of him right now, mate. Got my pen. And I'll watch him. I'll get back to him on the next stream. How about that, chat? We still need more sales and buy players with suitable wages. I agree. I think we do need to move some players on, and at some point I'll be talking about the breaking news on Antony. At some point, you just check to see any more news hasn't come out, chat. Give me 1 second. If Jobe is better or at least as good as Jude, why aren't Madrid interested in him? And yet Madrid are really interested in Mastantuono. We don't have to be interested in who Real Madrid are interested in, chat. It doesn't have to be like mutually exclusive. We don't have to be every single time. And the short answer is, Jobe wants to mark his own career. There's a reason Jobe goes by Jobe and not Bellingham. He wants to make Jobe the name for himself, like Jude made Bellingham a household name. They're different people. Similar, sure, but they're different people, different players wanting to make their own paths. And chat, if you're enjoying the stream so far, a real mix so far of transfer news, analysis, cultural analysis of players as well. It's been a bit of a topsy-turvy stream today, going all over the place. If you're enjoying it so far, make sure you leave a like on the video. We're aiming for 20 likes today. Let's see if we can hit that, maybe even 25. I'm really enjoying the stream so far. Every like you make is an additional boost to the stream, gets more people involved. I hope you're enjoying it so far. I think Redondo looks like a good prospect as a 6/8. If his father, who played for Real, will be anything to go by, he'll be quality. He certainly has the potential. Chat, speaking of other young players, let's get you involved. There are 50 people in the stream right now. I want to hear at least 10 different youth player suggestions. Who is the player you think we should be bringing in this summer to revitalise our team, find that youthful spark and bring in a bit of energy? Someone to look forward to the future, maybe not to start right now, but the next 2-3 years to make their way into the team. To me, it's the player who United District have reported on. It is Jobe Bellingham. And while you guys are doing that, let me give some hints at what's coming up next on the stream. We are going to be talking about next Kobe Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho. Yes, the two young current United superstars and the potential trouble around them. Also going to be talking about Simon Jones's wider reports, some players who are coming in, coming out. Leicester City, Ruud van Nistelrooy, you're getting a mention today, my friend. Providing a bit of a debrief on that, as well as my We have Alex talking in the know. I have some updates on Leicester City and United's relationship. We're then going to be talking about Liam Delap, yet again, another young player coming in. Links to him will be talked about as well. And to end the sort of transfer part of the stream, Kolo Muani will be discussed at the very end. And then to cap it all off, Manchester United versus Newcastle. There's only one team we call United around here. That is Manchester United. We'll be doing a debrief on that at the very end. Let's see what you lot are saying. Obi Martin says, Caleb, that boy is a superstar in the making. Good God. The ball striking on that boy. How old is he? Like 16? Chat, I'm 21 years old. I'm 5 years older than that bloke. Look at the difference between the two of us. Like, come on, chat. Come on. Quinada, yeah. Yeah, I like that shout. I like that shout. One of Ambim's men. Japan, I am skeptical on Japan. I really am. I'm not too sure what I think of him. I'd rather sign Jobe than Japan. Definitely. Definitely, chat. Definitely. Even if you don't like Alex, just drop a like, says Sean. Well, I'd hope some people in here like me. Doesn't cost anything. Nah, mate, you're right. You're absolutely right. And chat, if you don't like me, like the video. Maybe someone else will come along who might just enjoy the stream. Jesus Christ, Sean. Okay, I'm not reading that out. It's a PG-friendly channel, chat. Crikey. Okay. You guys can read that for yourself if you'd like to. But moving on to the next piece of business chats, we're talking about Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho. Simon Jones from the Daily Mail dropped a bit of a bomber on us yesterday. He was talking about a lot of different things, one of them being that Manchester United are struggling to reach agreements on new contracts for Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho. Chat, to be completely honest with you, I think that report is a load of poppycock. It's a load of rubbish. It's a load of rubbish. I have a lot of respect for Simon Jones. I think he's an excellent journalist, part of an excellent team over there at the Daily Mail. I don't quite get this report, at least in what he's trying to imply. He is talking about them signing new contracts. Why would we be looking at that? Why would we be looking at that? Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho both extended their contracts within the last year. There is no reason for us to be looking to extend them again. Chat, do you agree with me? Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Ahmed. I'm completely on your side. Both have had new contracts recently. It doesn't make sense. But what I am quite concerned with is, I'll get onto this a little bit later, but Simon Jones has a lot of really valuable things in this report. He's really right on a lot of things. Yeah, exactly. Garnacho 2028, Mainoo 2027. They have time on their contracts, but Simon Jones hits the nail on the head on a lot of other parts of his report that I sort of got to thinking, what does this mean? What does this mean? What is he alluding to here? Well, I think Simon Jones alludes to the fact that they are assessing their futures at Manchester United Football Club. Both players are. Both players this club wants to build around. Chat, you remember the ad, don't you? Where we had the one with Barry Keown, where Mainoo, Højlund and Garnacho sitting on the, what was it? Was it the bench? Arms around their shoulders. Were you creating that iconic image? Yeah. They are the faces of this football club. Two of the faces of this football club are currently sceptical over their futures at Manchester United. Do you know how insane that is? Do you know how insane that is? And Garnacho, look, Argentinian from Spain, grew up in and around Madrid. I do think it is inevitable that one day Real Madrid comes calling if Garnacho continues in his linear progression. It makes sense. What is worrying is Kobbie Mainoo being sceptical about his future. This boy has been at this club since forever. He is Marcus Rashford, but still playing and still loving this club. In the FA Cup final, last year when we won, he had the same hat that I was there for 2 years ago. You know, the bucket hat? This boy is a true red through and through. The fact that he is getting sceptical about the way this club is being run, about the direction of this football club, and that stems from the top, by the way, that stems from Ineos. Kobbie Mainoo could be believing this whole Ineos conspiracy, looking at the way in which Marcus Rashford is being treated and going, is it going to happen to me next? If you go online at the moment and look, a lot of it is all talk, but there is some insinuations that Kobbie Mainoo is the next target for some fans. And I'm going to plead with anyone watching my stream, with anyone coming across my content, even if you've just joined, back these boys. Back these young'uns. Look, I've backed Garnacho especially for years now. I've sort of quite disappointed in him with his online behaviour, and I'm willing to forgive it purely because these are young lads. Growing up in an environment in football, in social media, where we've never really had this before. Players can get constant access to opinions about them, positive, negative. Players who absolutely praise them and stand them, yet people who degrade them constantly online, making AI images, mocking Mainoo's weight. He's not even close to being overweight. That is a fit young man who is a top athlete. And people are making pictures of him eating a burger where he's clearly depicted as being obese. Do you know how mental that is, chat? So I plead with all of you, and I hope you agree with me. Do you agree with me? Let me know in the chat. Let's get this chat popping off. Do you agree with me at the moment? Do you agree? Should we be backing these boys? Or as Cubis says here, if they perform, I back them. If not, bye. Are we going to be waving goodbye to Kobbie Mainoo and Alejandro Garnacho if they can't perform in this, quite frankly, dysfunctional United team in the next year? Let me know, chat. Let me know. I think it just speaks, this report, this Simon Jones report, this scepticism, that's what it speaks to. About the club being uneasy. That's already been reported. I know people at the club. I know people who've worked at the club in the last year or so, been under these Ineos transformations. They aren't content. They're not content. They're not content at the moment. So look, and these people who work in and around the club, hey ho. Red Jedi says, yes, back the lads. I agree with you, mate. Premium, that's just lazy journalism because he's struggled in a few games after coming back from injury. He's grown in size, but that's just natural growth due to age. Premium, you're right. Some people on Twitter don't understand puberty, maybe because they're 12 years old and they haven't quite gone through it yet. Maybe it's just that, chat. Maybe it's just that. And chat, we are also 3 likes away from 20 likes. If we can hit that in the next 5-10 minutes, that would mean the absolute world to me. Even if you're not happy with a player's performance or behaviour online, there is no reason to stoop to personal insults. Sean, you're exactly right. But I'm now going to sort of go through why I think this report has some credibility. Despite the sort of ridiculousness of talking about contracts, I do think Simon Jones is correct about the scepticism. The first one is about Nuno Mendes. Simon Jones reports that Manchester United have asked about Nuno Mendes, who has rejected PSG's contract proposal. He's heard this yet again. I think Simon Jones is right. He's clearly reporting something that's correct. More importantly, I'm intrigued about him talking about PSG's contract offer. That worries me a tad. It sort of indicates that all Mendes wants is a bit more money. People have reported that he feels disrespected by the Paris Saint-Germain board. And if it's a case of being disrespected versus a case of just wanting more money, very different things. Disrespected, good for us, we will value him. Amorim wants him, he's seen as a key player. If we make that move, that is good for us. He will feel valued. Big pull for us. If he's simply after money, there is no reason why he would choose Paris Saint-Germain, Manchester United over PSG, where he's settled, clearly better environment, better chances at trophies, better chances at Champions League football. That's just my take on it. But to me, the real key point here is his discussion about Leicester City. Simon Jones reports that Leicester City have made contact with Manchester United over potential loans. This is Alex talking in the know here. He's right. Chat, there has been talk with United by Ruud van Nistelrooy about certain youth players and young players going over to Leicester. I won't comment on the names, but you'll hear more about names soon. I mentioned, if it helps, if it gives a clue, I mentioned him last stream. You might actually be worse than Stephen Howson when it comes to reporting and making up stories. I don't make up a singular story, pal. I don't make up. I use intuition and I try and sort of understand what's going through journalists' heads and what they're reporting because, look, I'm in and around that sort of lifestyle. So, look, low-key, boss, if you think that, you think that, and I'm not going to block you, but hey-ho. Probably Collier and Wheatley, says Cubis. Maybe, mate. Maybe. Frost says that Kobbie Mainoo can go for the right price. Anyone can. It's up to Amorim. I would suggest the correct price is probably north of £80 million, though. Chat, this is a funky thing to be talking about, I feel. Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie Mainoo. How much would you sell him for? How much would you sell Kobbie Mainoo for? Let me know. To me, invaluable. You can't put a price on Kobbie Mainoo's head, in my opinion. In my opinion. Chat, remember to stick about the rest of the stream. We're talking about Liam Delap next. Yet again, another inexperienced striker being linked to Manchester United. And then to end the stream off, the tactical debrief, talking about that. We'll get into that very, very soon. Mate, don't swear in the chat, please. Don't swear in the chat. We're better than that. The same price as Neves. João Neves, he went for what? 60 million euros in the end? They're all for sale, says John Stocks. Okay, chat, for the next 5 minutes or so, let's talk about this. Are there any untouchables at the club right now? Are there any players who you're looking at and going, no, would not bring him in? No, would not sell him, sorry. Untouchable, no price would make me go, yeah, no, you can have him. Real Madrid bids 150 million, yeah. You take Kobbie Mainoo. Take Garnacho. Take, who else? Take Yoro, for example. Is there any untouchables at the football club? I'd go John Duran. In what premium? In what? Mazraoui alone, says Cubis. Mazraoui is one for me. For the 5 players who I wouldn't sell for anything, Amad Diallo, John Stocks, you're absolutely right. Mazraoui is another. I'd also speak about Mainoo, definitely. Who else? Højlund. Højlund's untouchable for me. And I don't know who else, chat. That's all my untouchables. It's all my untouchables. To be honest, yes, Yo as well, sorry. Garnacho, Kobbie and Amad. Garnacho's a weird one for me. Garnacho is a weird footballer for me at the moment. Let's see. Come on, chat. Let's get really involved in the stream. Let's get involved. We're 1 like away from 20 likes, chat. I'd love to hit it before 40 past. Before 22, sorry. I'd love to hit it. I really would. And Onana, let's use our brain, chat. I don't think Andre Onana is a player for me who I would regard as untouchable. I really wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Let me just check if we have any more news coming in. And chat, remember to stick about as well, because we're talking about Antony in 2 minutes as well. Talking about players who are untouchable. That man certainly is not. The Antony news, let's talk about this, shall we? Real Betis have asked Manchester United for Antony on loan in January and to share his salary. That is by Mateo Gonzalez at, I think, ABC Sevilla. I'm not that familiar with the publication. It sounds very localised. And to me, there's no reason for this to be made up. It makes complete sense for a club to be asking for a player of that quality. Antony has shown himself to be a footballer recently. He has. He looked quite good. Oh, what was it? Every time he came on, he sort of added a bit more as a... he's added a bit more impetus, a bit more vigour to the side, which I really, really enjoyed. So look, Antony going, I'm happy with Antony staying for at least the next 6 months. I wouldn't want him to stay long term, trust me. But I do think Antony has a place in this squad at the moment. He is certainly a good enough right wing back. Certainly. So look, personally, I wouldn't loan him out because I don't think we can bring a replacement in him for this January. I would keep him at the football club, but yeah, no. That is someone who I would regard as very much touchable at the moment. But chat, would you move Antony on this January or would you not? What is your thoughts and feelings around him at the moment? Would you move him on? Do you rate him at the moment? Do you rate him? Some good friends of mine who I'd argue is very being well versed in football really, really rate Antony as a right wing back. Let me know, chat. Let me know. Good Lord, the Onana conversation at the moment. Onana, I would 100% sell, says FPL Frost. Gadtas says Onana has one of the best goalkeeping records in the league. Are you serious? Onana is a good goalkeeper. I think anyone talking about that, I'm not too sure what your thoughts and feelings on it. He's a great keeper. Great goalkeeper, Andre Onana, but I don't know if he has the temperament, the mentality to be an elite goalkeeper. Want to take us to a Champions League final, to a Premier League title race. I don't think he has that in him. I think there's a mistake in him. I think his shot stopping is a lot to be desired. I don't know how much I'm on side with him at the moment. He's not unsettled, John. He's not unsettled. He's not unsettled, mate. And you know what? I think more than anything, after Cunha scored from a corner, that was a bad moment for me. I was very, very upset with Onana then. Very, very, very upset with Onana. And Onana should be keeping fire under 18s. Caleb, I get not liking a player. I really do. But I do think the use of hyperbole here is mental. Andre Onana is a top goalkeeper, just not someone who I would want in a Premier League title race. You want security at the back. You want a David Raya. You want an Alisson. You want an Edison or an Ortega. You do not want, in my opinion, an Onana. In my opinion, no. And I know the whole the Inter idea. He got to a Champions League with Inter. Inter under Inzaghi, one of the best sides in world football. They control games. They can let the keeper just be okay at shot stopping if the short passing is superb and the long ball passing is great. That's all Inzaghi needs. That's all Inzaghi needs. Get Antony gone now. I do get it. Loan Antony and promote Mantanto. Oh, I can't say that. Mantanto. Look, chat, my issue with promoting some of the younger lads at the moment is, I spoke about this last stream, this is not the correct environment for a young player to flourish. I think we all are aware of that in every walk of life. Whether you're young or simply new to a job, first time ever going to school, first time ever starting a new job for the first time, first stream I ever did of this, God was I inexperienced, God was I young, God did I not have a clue what I was doing. And you know what, it was quite a structured environment though. My boss, my gaffer, MPB himself was great at helping me along. I had some other people as well, and Neil Candola, a great friend of the channel, really helped me out, provided me structure. Something to learn off of, something to achieve, a good environment. That is how I hopefully, have improved and got better. You sort of take that over to United at the moment. These young lads don't really have much to learn off. The structure isn't there. Sure, the people are great. Ruben Amorim seems like an incredible bloke. Some of the players there, Bruno Fernandes is an excellent leader, but it's not a stable environment. The actual structure doesn't make sense with these players. It's a load of misfits playing in that squad. It's not the correct environment to promote young players. They won't develop properly, chat. They will not develop properly. Speaking about words. Come on, Alex. Speaking about young lads, let's go talk up to Liam Delap, another name in Simon Jones' reports. The last name we'll be talking about before the tactical debrief. Let me find the report very quickly. Manchester United, Chelsea, Liverpool and Manchester City all want to sign Liam Delap. City have a buyback clause and he has a release clause for other suitors. That's by Simon Jones at Mail Sport. Yet again, part of his huge brief, which you know what, I'm taking pretty much as accurate. I do think we are interested in Liam Delap. I do think we are. I don't know why, quite frankly. This is something I'm going to be quite infuriated with, this sort of link. It makes no sense. But before I give my opinion, let's see what the chat wants to say. Liam Delap, would he be a good signing or not? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Godtart, you're exactly right. The jump from the under-21 to the Premier League as a defensive player is terrifying. The standard just increases tenfold. Tenfold, chat. John Duran over Liam Delap for me. Premium mate, Aston Villa is one of the most attractive clubs, cultures in world football, playing under a fantastic system with fantastic players. You've got there Ollie Watkins, John Duran, Morgan Rogers, a phenomenal footballer, by the way. You've got what? Amadou Onana. You've got Boubacar Kamara, Digne. You've got Konsa, Cash, the best goalkeeper in world football in Martinez. Don't know why John Duran would want to leave that project and come to us, let alone when they have Unai Emery as their coach and they're gunning for Champions League football. John Duran is not happening. City have the buyback clause. Cubis, you're right. But the thing with Liam Delap is, look at our squad, our strike force. And I quite like our strike force, but it's Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee and Chido Obi Martin coming through the ranks. Inexperienced, raw in some places, not out and out number 9s. Does Liam Delap solve that issue? Does he? No, he doesn't. He's inexperienced, sure. He's got a season in the Championship under his belt. Whoop-de-doo. Plays for Ipswich, and he is a cracking player. A great ball striker. Not ambipedal, but he's great with the ball on both feet. Can finish from all angles. Great in the air. Liam Delap has a lot to like about him, but he doesn't add anything to this Manchester United side. He adds nothing, in my opinion. He adds nothing. You look at the other teams, though, who are in for him. Liverpool. They've got Núñez, Jota, Gakpo, all could play up front. They've got goal scorers in Mohamed Salah, currently the best player in world football, alongside Jobe Bellingham. But that's contentious for me, though. Look, Chelsea have Nicholas Jackson, who's having a great year, and Kunku, João Felix behind them. Broho as well. There's goals in that team. Someone could take the pressure off them. City, they have Erling Braut Haaland, for God's sake. Liam Delap should be brought in as an understudy, not as a genuine rotation piece. Not at the moment, at least. Not at the moment. He's still got a way to go in his development. Look, Liam Delap should be nowhere near our position. In my opinion, we shouldn't be even signing a striker. Chido Obi Martin, within the next 6 months to a year, will be establishing himself in the first team setup. Mark my words. I'm hearing great things out of Carrington. He is an excellent footballer. Truly is. Truly is. I have a lot of love for that boy. A lot of love. So no, we shouldn't be signing a striker. Where do you think a striker is on your priorities for the window? Chat to end off this section of the stream. I would like to hear what your priorities are for this summer. Left wing back, left centre back, striker, number 10s, the 8s, a goalkeeper maybe even, a right wing back. Let me know your priorities. There's 40 of you in the stream right now. Let's hear your thoughts, your feelings. You're the scouting team. Tell me your order. And also, chat, before we get into the tactical debrief of United versus Newcastle United, let's see if we can hit 25 likes. Chat, we're 3 likes away. It would mean the world to me if we could hit that today. It's high as we lack serious firepower. We just can't get the ball to them. We just can't get the ball to them. Gadtar says left wing back and 2 centre backs. Yeah, that's fair. Striker is 3rd on the list for me. Chat, if it was up to me, we don't sign a striker in the summer. We don't sign a striker in the summer. We invest all our money in a left wing back. Bring me a superstar left wing back. Bring me a superstar left centre back. Have 2 decent enough 10s. After that, I then want a number 8. Someone as a rotation piece. Someone to bring the best out of Kobe. Out of Kobe Mainu, and then I want a little young lad as well. Jobe Bellingham, that's who I'd sign there. Everywhere else, pretty sure I know what I want. But we'll get into that another day. Probably this Thursday. First priority, full sale. Full sale of what? All of our players, or what, mate? Caleb, we need a veteran striker, someone in his 30s. We have strikers with potential, someone to help the younger ones be better. I'm not judging how good the younger lads are until they have a chance to prove themselves in a system that creates for them. Very simply. And chat, let's get on to how I think I would create chances for our strikers in the game against Newcastle United. Monday Night Football, I'm sure we'll be seeing some fantastic analysis by Carragher, Neville, Henry, whoever they have on a Monday Night Football tonight. Maybe even the overlaps H and Amir. I'd love to see that at some point. But Sean says I'd like to see Kobe playing as a 10. Let's have a look at this Newcastle side and see what dangers they pose. Newcastle are in a great run of form. They're off 2 massive wins at Ipswich 4-0 and Aston Villa 3-0 despite a contentious red card. Newcastle have monsters, quite frankly. Alexander Isak, one of the best players in world football at the moment, on form. Scoring goals for fun. A hat-trick against Ipswich. A goal against Villa. God, that is a football player right there, chat. Immense ball striking capabilities on both feet. Can score from anywhere. A superb ball carrier. He is going to cause our back line issues. Anthony Gordon with a cracking goal the other day. Really didn't think he had it in his locker. Really didn't think, but ball striking, again, a key thing here. Ball striking. It was against what team was it? Where the gaffer, it was in the Europa League, where the gaffer told their players to shoot from anywhere, target and Nana. I expect the same thing today. Pot shot after pot shot from Antony Gordon, from Bruno Guimaraes, from Alexander Isak. I'm expecting lots of shots on our goal today, hoping for an Onana mistake, testing our keeper, testing our resolve. Also, their midfield's mental. Sandro Tonali, Joelinton. They've got Bruno Guimaraes as well. That is a physically elite midfield. Compare it to ours, we're in serious, serious trouble, especially with Manuel Ugarte not being in the squad. I am very fearful about how the game is going to go. I think he is our one player who could really provide a blockage against that midfield. He is a high energy, high workforce player. He could stop them. We don't have that. We don't have Bruno Fernandes either. Another source of energy, another source of exuberance. We're not going to have him in the squad either. So look, I'm quite worried. My current score prediction, and Sean said earlier on, I never bet against United, but I do think a 3-1 loss is incoming for Manchester United Football Club. I think that Newcastle team is excellent. I think Eddie Howe is a great manager. I'm not expecting great things against them today. But my team, I'll get into one second, but let's first hear what you lot are having to say. Who would you play against Newcastle tonight? And what do you think the scoreline is going to be? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Cubus says, for me, for the priorities for the summer, first left wing back, second left number 10, third centre mid DM hybrid, fourth left centre back. Left centre back has to be a lot higher in my opinion. Has to be a lot higher. Raise that physical floor immediately. Always like Indika from Roma at centre back. Power, pace, all the tools for the Premier League. Chat, Nico Schlotterbeck. That is my that's my shout for left centre back. That's my shout. I'm seeing him in less than 2 weeks actually. I'll hopefully provide some content from that if I get the time. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see that. Gord is better than Garnacho. Harsh truth. Yes, he is. It's not a harsh truth. That is a hopefully relatively unanimous opinion. I hope. Cash in on Bruno Rashford. Get Cunha. Mateus Cunha is a player I sort of and on every other day. I'm not too sure he's the player for us. I'm not quite sure why. Because he has everything you want. He's an incredible physical floor. He's technically excellent, a great ball striker, creative. He's got no angular bias, can play left 10, right 10. He is a superb player. He is a superb football player, chat. The reason why I didn't put left centre-back high is because of Kokonki, I believe. Amram has high hopes for him. He is 16, chat. No. I'm not having a 16-year-old centre-back start for me in the Premier League. Chat, we are in a biggest moment of dysfunction, disarray and chaos at this football club. This is not the time to introduce first players. It's the starting 11 in a rebuild season. No. No. Bring me established talent. Bring me established talent. Bring me players who know what they're doing, who have Champions League experience. Maybe not as young as possible. I'd go 27-year-olds as well. Provide me a strong base. Got to go, have a good one, Alex. See you in a bit, Sean. Loved having you on the stream today. But chat, here is my lineup for the game today. In goal, obviously, Andre Onana. And left centre-back, I would play Lisandro Martinez. At central centre-back, I would have Maguire. Right centre-back, Lenny Yoro. Right wing-back, I would have Amad Diallo. On the left wing-back, I would have Alejandro Garnacho. My pivot would be, and this is why I'm not too sure. The pivot I'm umming and ahhing on. I'll get back to the pivot. Up front, I would like to have not Garnacho. I would like to have Rasmus Højlund on the left, Joshua Zirkzee up front, and Kobbie Mainoo at right forward. That is what I'd want. That is what I'd want, chat. That is my lineup against Newcastle. Let me know. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you think I'm onto something, or do you think I'm going absolutely mad? Chat, let me know what you're thinking and feeling. Am I off my rocker? Am I off my rocker? Let me know your lineups as well. There's still 20 people in here. Let me know. Let me know, chat. Let me know. God, that midfield. God, you don't play Eriksen, he gets killed. You have to play Casemiro. I think Casa gets a start. God, I don't know, chat. I really don't know. Go to Eriksen, Casemiro. We have to sit in the deepest deep block then, chat. We have to. Or you put Eriksen as the 10 and Mainoo in the midfield. and you just don't press high. Unless it goes over to the left side when you sort of try and trap them in. That's the only thing I can think of. It's the only thing. Joshua Zirkzee is better as a 10 at link-up? No. I think Joshua Zirkzee is at his best when he has all 10 players in front of him. Sees the back to goal and he can link up anywhere there. That is when Joshua Zirkzee is at his best. And I also think Rasmus Højlund would really enjoy the left 10 dynamic. It's not really a number 10. It's more of an inside forward constantly starting on the inside. They don't start on the wing and come in. They're always there. They're dynamic. They're transitional power. They have to almost act as a winger in the left half space. Rasmus Højlund would love that. He loves running that left channel. He loves being a nuisance. That is what he is great at. That's what he's great at. And I do think his dynamic with Zirkzee would thrive there. And I think Garnacho coming in off that left-hand side, Rasmus Højlund providing rotation, Zirkzee providing that sort of link-up he's known to do with Ahmad and Bruno. I think it works really well. I think that works really, really well. Main will be the left 10 to replace Bruno. I don't want that. I don't want that. I know it makes sense. It's the obvious choice. I want to be a hipster, quite frankly. I'm going to be the hipster. I'm going to be someone who's not suggesting that. Mainly was the right-hand side makes sense. And it sort of provides the obvious option into Ahmad cutting inside, but I think both players are excellent enough to be able to make that work, especially if I have Casemiro coming in. I mean, there's always the idea of, I've just had the thought, could you play Mazraoui as an 8? I mean, you can't, but you could. You could, no. Chat, I do think if I was to pick my team, I would have Kobbie Mainoo as my right 10. No, Eriksen's my right 10. Mainoo and Casemiro in my pivots. And just sit in a deep block and just hope you get them on the transition. That's my hope. Have firepower in Garnacho. Have firepower in Højlund and Amad Diallo as well. Chat, any last thoughts, feelings and opinions on the game this evening before we end the stream? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Let me just see if there's any more transfer news coming about. Let me just have a little look. Wow. Okay. Chat. Well, maybe we will be seeing Marcus Rashford. Maybe it's not quite done for him yet. United Menace report that this evening Marcus Rashford will be recalled to the Manchester United game against Newcastle tonight, mainly because of the players missing. Well. Chat, that is certainly a bit of a bombshell. I would be over the moon to see Rashford back. Could it be his way to sort of reinvigorate himself, provide himself, be the man to put the team on the back, mark his return to Manchester United, maybe even give himself a lifeline? I'm not the most confident on the source. And even United Menace himself says that he's hearing something. Look, I don't know. I don't know, chat. I do not know. How are we feeling about that? Marcus Rashford to return to the Manchester United squad. Let me know. What are thoughts and feelings on that before we end the stream? To me, I'm over the moon about it. And it does change my lineup, actually. Oh, does it? I mean, part of me thinks just sit in the deepest low block because I don't think we have the midfield to really contend with them and play... Oh, I don't know. I would play, if Marcus Rashford is here, Alejandro Garnacho off the left-hand side, Marcus Rashford at left forward, Zirkzee up front, with Højlund in as the right 10, with Ahmad on the right-hand side. No, I'd play Højlund up front, Zirkzee on the right, and I'd have Kobbie Mainoo as the right man of the pivot and Casemiro on the left. That is how I would set up my Manchester United side for this evening, chat. Unless there's any more things to say, maybe it's a farewell game for Rashford. And you know what? He'd be on the bench, surely. I'd love him to start. I really think he needs to. If he's in the squad, he has to start, in my opinion. He's in the squad, he has to start. But chat, speaking of the farewell game for Rashford, that must mean I must bid you farewell. It has been a wonderful stream today. We've hit 25 likes. That was the target coming in on these return streams, building up a bit of momentum. If you've enjoyed today's stream and you've still not subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button. We're aiming for 7,000 subs by the end of February. And as well, if you haven't followed me already, at Alex Talksall on Twitter, Instagram and TikTok and YouTube as well, make sure you get at me on all those platforms there. It has been a pleasure hosting the stream today. I'll see you in the next one, most likely on Thursday. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.